War. War never changes.
I don't know if war never changes, but I can assure you guys the one thing that will never change is the amount of bugs and glitches you can find in a Bethesda game. Like this exploit that is well known to everybody in the game right now, where you can basically disarm this flamethrower trap as much as you want to get as much experience as you want to basically level to any level you want and kind of reach the end game much faster than you normally would. And this kind of ruins it for everybody, don't you think? Is that if it weren't for all the glitches, there's actually a lot to like about this Fallout 76 game. This new perk system that they're using, where you basically get a card pack and you don't know exactly what kind of perks you're going to get, but you can also combine the cards in order for them to reach a higher level so you get more benefits. Well, that's really nice, that's really interesting, and it gives the game a really good take on the leveling up system. Though is if whenever I find something good in this game, I also find something bad. Like the combat system hasn't improved at all from Fallout 4 or Fallout 3 for that matter, except for the fact that the VATS are now basically completely ineffective. Like you can still use VATS as a system, but I don't see the point to it because it doesn't slow down time and it just basically works like a accuracy boost, in which case you might hit an enemy better without actually aiming all that much, and that just doesn't feel like it's that big of a deal. Like, I did want to say a lot of bad things about this game, and there is plenty of things to criticize it about, but fact of the matter is, guys, I enjoyed it quite too much. I know this is going to be like angry to a lot of people that have played the previous games and feel like this is nothing new and feel like Todd Howard has ruined the experience for them and Todd Howard has ruined the whole franchise for them. But to me, it's not the same thing because I wasn't that much invested in the previous games, so I cannot understand where they're coming from completely. For me, this was exactly what Todd Howard said it would be, a multiplayer Fallout game, and if I have to be honest, it lives up to that. And I found people pretty quickly on the official Discord that were willing to help me out, give me items, help me gain levels faster, and basically I went to kill all sorts of beasts with them that I couldn't do on my own because I was too low level, and it was quite the amazing experience taking down things like Scorched Beasts and Deathclaws, basically going to Deathclaw Island and just getting rampaged by 2 or 3 random Deathclaws there. It was quite amazing, and because I had this team, I never felt alone. It was quite great being a part of a group. And I always wanted to play Fallout this way, if I have to be honest. I have played the previous games, and doing it alone is just not that fun. I mean, exploring is great in Fallout games, and the story can be amazing. The fact of the matter is, for me, it got a little bit too hard, and I was reading guides and stuff on the internet, but I could never quite manage my way around the game, or remember all the things I had to in order to build different armor, build different weapons, what I needed to collect basically. Well, this way, when it's multiplayer, I basically get into the voice chat and ask somebody, hey mate, do you know where I can find loose screws, where I can find loose gears, where I can find power armor chassis, where I can find this, where I can find that. And it happens in a matter of seconds. You basically have the entire Wikipedia page or wiki guide on the internet for this game directly there, because all of the players around you are actually willing to help as long as you join the official Discord, and they're willing to give you information right there on the spot. And like everybody I met so far knew almost everything about the game, except me, of course. I don't know that much, but everybody else knew almost everything you would want them to know about the game, and they were willing to share this information with you just like that, like in a snap, in a second. And that feeling is just really amazing. It got me back to the days when I was playing Diablo 2, and everybody was so friendly, everybody was willing to help out, everybody gave you all sorts of information, told you what you had to do, told you what was the best character builds. And it's the same way here. People were telling you which perks are the best ones to get. Like if somebody hadn't told me that the Cannibal perk was a pretty good one, and you could level it up to such a point where you could regain most of your health, and you could quench your, well, you can't quench your thirst, but you can quench your hunger, basically. And at the same time, you can get perks where you don't take any radiation from eating meat. You're basically sort of invincible because you keep regenerating health this way. You don't get any radiation from eating dead corpses of people you've killed in the game. And that makes you quite powerful. There is one thing that annoyed me a lot in the game, and that's the introduction of this new system that basically you have to keep managing your drinking and your hunger meter like every couple of minutes while you move around, while you fight. Your character has to become thirsty, he has to become hungry, which was another part of the last Fallout games. So I don't understand why this had to be developed specifically for this multiplayer experience. It's annoying having every couple of minutes taking something out of your inventory and either consuming it or just consuming it basically. But it's horrible because like you're in a mission, you're in a quest, you're running around with your group, and all of a sudden your character is either thirsty or hungry, and you gotta stop and you gotta like shuffle through your inventory and you gotta find something that will alleviate their hunger and their thirst. Well, the rest of your group is basically in a firefight at the moment, and if you don't do this, it like has all these negative effects. Like either your action points are going to start dropping, or you're gonna suffer some sort of other disadvantages if you don't quench your thirst or if you don't feed your character. And it's a stupid system. There is absolutely no point to it other to just like make you go around and farm. So it's like busy work. It's basically a way for the developers to make you feel like there's more to the game, like that there's more time you have to spend in the game, when in fact of the matter is you don't have to do any of this. Like these are all annoying things. These are basically like it's like a quest of its own that you gotta keep repeating and repeating and repeating. It's the same dumbass quest where you just have to do the same thing over and over again. It's extremely annoying. I am really satisfied with the amount of loot and gear you can basically get from the game. Like, there is a ton of that. If you're into these kind of things where you just scavenge for items and you really enjoy having lots of stuff in your inventory and you like seeing the pluses on extra armor or extra damage of a weapon or any piece of clothing you take, like this is definitely the game for you. There's a variety of weapons, and I didn't know this at first because of all the videos I was watching of people making gameplay videos on YouTube. All of them were basically using the same 2 or 3 weapons, and I was like, well, they keep talking about weapon variety, but you can't really see it because they are using the same sort of huntsman rifle or something that I've seen in the past 5 videos. And nobody wants to showcase these different weapons that they're talking about, or these different armor pieces that they're talking about. And some of them don't even bother to show you the power armor that you can find, the power armor chassis and the stuff you can build for it. And that's kind of annoying because you keep hearing about things and they never show them to you. And it can definitely, give you the wrong perspective of how much loot there actually is in the game. What I would like to note is that I'm personally not offended by the graphics in this game. I think they're actually quite nice, even though some people have made videos that like the new lighting system is basically just a Fallout 4 mod. But what I have an issue is, if these graphics, they're supposed to look like this now, are basically from like a couple of years ago, I don't understand why you need such powerful hardware to run the game properly. Like, performance is definitely not great. I'm playing this on basically NVIDIA's cloud gaming service, that you have to wait in line for the beta, but it's free, so you get a couple of hours of playing the game on their extremely powerful computers and extremely powerful GTX Titan cards or something like that, and I was still having issues getting 60 frames per second in the game. And you can basically see this because the frames are right there in the corner. I've included them specifically for this purpose, to showcase you how bad the performance can actually be on something like a Titan. And my internet connection at home is pretty great. I have it hooked up to my 5 gigahertz wireless router, and everything is perfect. I'm not having that much of issues with the German server or whatever the server is located for NVIDIA, but the performance is bad.
Shotgun, yes.
That thing that's in your arm right now, that's a shotgun, mate.
No, that's not a shotgun.
I'm pretty sure it's a shotgun, I see it.
It's not a shotgun, you dumb fuck.
Are you sure it's not a shotgun? Like, it looks like a shotgun.
Are you
Wait, let me get close and see it. Wait. Wait. Fire a couple of rounds because I can't see what it is.
Let me check it. You're fucking stupid, man. It's a hunting rifle. Are you fucking?
Well, that's the type of a shotgun. What do you mean?
Another cool feature in the game, for me at least, was the fact that you can build your base. Now, this is something that was also available in Fallout 4, but the cool thing about this here, in this multiplayer version, is that somebody can basically build a better base than you can, and then he could like just hop the server. He could jump out of the server, and you can go and reclaim his base, and you can take all of the cool stuff that he has already built, like large water purifier systems, large extractors for aluminium or for junk, or you can go to this factory which can basically produce ammo for you, and you can reclaim it, and you can build as much ammo as you want for any weapon as you want, as long as nobody comes and beats the living hell out of you and it tries to reclaim it. This base is yours and you can take full advantage of it. And I gotta be honest, there are some quirks with building a base, like it doesn't feel that natural to a keyboard and a mouse. It's kind of difficult. That's why I played a lot of the game with my Xbox 360 controller, because that way everything is much more intuitive, and it's much easier to build stuff, much easier to rotate items and place them exactly how you want. With a mouse and keyboard, this experience isn't all that great. But with an Xbox 360 controller, it's just superb if you have to be honest about it. And again, you can build all sorts of stuff, all things that your heart desires, everything from turrets to all kinds of different structures, power generators, lights. It's just amazing, and you can spend quite a bit of time trying to create the perfect base and having all these extractors around you that can help you gather valuable resources that you're going to need later on in the game for either fixing your equipment, or maybe for building another base somewhere else, because every time you build a base you're going to require a new junk and new aluminium and new oil and concrete, or depends on what you're building in your base. So you have to keep constantly collecting stuff in order to build your bases in other places. And can you just imagine having all of the bases on the map, like everything is yours? It's kind of a perfect feeling. Like in a couple of games I was able to acquire a lot of bases basically when people were leaving the server. So there is the fact that I was kind of sort of alone for most of the time when I was reclaiming all these bases, but I built in a lot of places, I could get a lot of resources, and it was amazing. In conclusion, I just gotta say that this game is not that bad. It's actually pretty interesting. It has a couple of issues that I believe should be fixed so it doesn't ruin everybody's fun, like exploiting all of these traps that you can disarm so you get unlimited amount of experience. And there are a couple of other things, just sometimes even when I was using the Xbox controller on the PC version of the game, I felt like it wasn't registering every click, or it was taking some time to register a click, which I don't know if it was because there were frame rate drops or something, or just the input sometimes laggy, but it was kind of annoying. So either this be a performance issue and they need to fix the way the game performs, or if this is some sort of input issue and input delay, they also need to fix that. Whichever of the two it is, there are problems with the game. I cannot say that there aren't. But I believe that Bethesda, maybe in like a month or 2 or 3, are going to be able to make this game into something really, really special if they squash out some of these major bugs that there are. Some of these stuff that keeps on happening where enemies just are staying there in a really weird position, not moving in anything, and when you move close to them, they spawn out of the ground or something and they start attacking you, which is really weird, and I don't understand why. Nobody at Bethesda knew this was happening before they released the game. Come on, this is just not true, and it's not possible. They've known about all these bugs and they decided to release it anyway for whatever reason. I don't understand it. I seriously don't. And considering that they had a beta, which was sort of it's not a beta if you release it basically like a week or two before the game launches, because in that time you can't fix anything. Let's be honest, you cannot fix anything in that amount of time. But again, if we are a strong community and we keep on believing in this game, I've already given the money for this game. Even if I say, well, this game is crap right now, I've already given Bethesda my money. So I don't earn anything and I don't win anything from saying this game is just bad and I don't want them to fix it because I've already invested money into it. Like, if you're somebody who hasn't given a single buck and says this game is crap, okay, fine, I understand it. You've watched the videos, you don't like the way the game is working, and you don't want to spend the money. But I've already invested the money, and for me personally to like disavow the game and say this is the worst thing I've ever played, it's not going to be that creative because I actually want to see the game be better. I want to see it progress. I want to see new stuff added to it, and I think Bethesda is going to do that. They just need a little bit of time, like they do with basically every game. They always need time to like make most of their games work the way they were intended to, and they're still going to leave a lot of bugs. I'm not saying they're gonna fix everything. That's not possible. Bethesda never does this, but at least they managed to fix most of the stuff that was a problem, so you have a much better experience. Like, the one thing I'm skeptical about is the performance, and this is because it's pretty early on that you can figure out how a performance of a game is going to be. After that, whatever fixes the developer tries to introduce when they've already kind of finished the game, it usually doesn't make for a great performance. Like, you could get something from like 5 to 10 frames increase since some update comes out, but for the bigger part, no. I have to be honest that I haven't seen a game that launches and then with all the updates gets some kind of amazing improved performance. That just never happens, guys. I'm sorry to tell you this. Performance is gonna be like this most likely for the end of the game to like dies 2 years from now or something like this, until it dies like when the new Fallout game comes out. But performance is not gonna be improved much, I understand this, but there are other things that Bethesda can work on, and they're pretty much trying their best right now. If you ask me, they're bringing some huge patches, even if the first one was kind of stupid because of the fact that you basically had to re-download most of the stuff you already had. Like, you had to download 15 gigabytes, I think it was on PC, and on consoles it was something like 50 gigabytes. That's absurd. That's not a patch where you have to download the entire game all over again. Like, I understand that this may be for future purposes an easier way to get smaller updates with a lot less megabytes and gigabytes included into them, but making you download the entire game again is just bad, however you want to say it. So yeah, it's rough around the edges game, but it can definitely be fun. And if you find people on the Discord, the official Discord for the game, it can be a lot of fun. And people are gonna say, well, this is for every multiplayer game. Actually, nah, it's not for every multiplayer game. I've been in multiplayer games a lot of my life, and I've played with different people, and if I don't like the game, and even if there are other people there, it doesn't make it much more fun for me if I just don't like the way the game is. Like, this game, I actually like how the game is, and just the fact that there are other players around me makes it even more fun. It's not going to be a make or break experience completely, because I'm telling you, I like the old Fallout games a lot. And I've played them for multiple hours. I just never finished them because they got a little bit hard for me, but that didn't mean I didn't like the core of the game. The fact that there are players just makes it better for me. It doesn't mean that I hated the way the old Fallout games were, but this just makes it better for me. This just makes me even more excited to play the game. And I don't think that the fact that there's just more players in any game, just making a game multiplayer is going to make it great. That's not how it is. People have been making this claim, I don't know why, but it's not true.